John Fisher on Block and Transport, is that the?
Yes, yeah. I haven't got a cost yet on the trucking, but it's $50 a lot, which still isn't bad.
All right, let's call the meeting.
Buy them or
To buy.
buy them,
Yeah.
own them?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's do a roll call. Tim's here.
Yeah.
Dave's here. I'm here. Dick is not here. All right, motion to approve the minutes. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Favor? Yay, any
Yeah.
opposed? All right, those are approved. Any public comments? No public comments, all right. May's report, we need to do May's report.
We didn't do it in June because we didn't have a meeting, correct?
Correct, I think it was just you and I were here,
Yes,
so, yeah, we need to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor?
Yeah.
All right, that's approved, and your report for June.
We're into June. All right, well, June was, it's been pretty busy, we had a few trees to clean out. We started working on tree maintenance, of course, we started on Woodbury Road, because Greg left us a mess out there, so.
It was a small oak tree.
Small.
Is that what was down in the swampy on hole 1? Or that was something else
It was right across from the entranceway.
Yeah.
of
Of the
golf
golf
course.
of the golf course?
It was the big oak.
Okay,
No, the stuff on the entranceway, stuff that we took down, and then my guys put it there, they told.
oh.
Oh,
It doesn't.
okay, I'm thinking, they didn't know it was.
No, I wasn't here.
When I drove by, there was a bunch of goings on there and I wondered,
Okay, yeah, I don't,
maybe that was
Oh,
that.
well, we did keep going. Once we got Greg's cleaned up, we're like, well, we're here, so let's get the rest of these trees cleaned back off the road. We had a branch come down, we cleaned that up, and then the storm came through at the corner of Grand River Road. Shaughnessy, thank you, Mr. John Blank. That chunk of tree branch came down, a huge chunk.
It was,
Hit the front of the house, took the gas meter off the house. Wow. So that took us. like,
did it leak?
I don't know, because I didn't smell it, but consumers came right out and shut it off. Well, right out, they came out 5 minutes and shut it off on a Friday, so. Well, and then,
Ruined their day.
and then they called me on Monday, and so they met up with us on Monday, let us clean the branch off, and then they put the new meter and stuff on. We had a drain issue in the apartment at the library. I had to have Lampiers come in and give us a hand with that. We still don't know what was plugged. It was something solid.
So he snaked it
It snaked it
from above.
and one of them pressure points in it. You want it, yeah. And finally got it to break and,
Fine everything.
you know,
What was the library issue as well?
there was a corner by the laundry. They kept getting wet and we couldn't figure out why. And we're thinking
Overflowing.
that it was coming from, all stemming from this plug, you know.
And it was backing up and it was behind the
Knock,
washer.
knock on wood, since that's been done, they haven't had any issues with that corner being wet. So
And the water.
the water
stopped.
software quit working, it, colleague came out, they pulled the, like, unit out, and it was just cold. And it's been in there since.
It's a Culligan software.
Yeah, we bought it, but it's a Culligan software. So.
And they want to replace it.
No, they come out and pulled the screen out, cleaned the screen. It was just,
Gave it a service.
yeah, it was just packed full of iron.
So is
Something
this,
I didn't.
are the settings too weak to? clean it?
No, because it has never been done. So he said
Oh,
it just
about
as hard,
15
yeah, as
years.
hard as that water is, he wasn't surprised, so he fixed it up.
Actually,
fired it up.
Laingsburg water isn't very bad, in my experience.
It's hard, I mean, what.
Just has
well,
gas in it.
yeah, our bathrooms are, I mean, that water's hard.
Yes. Probably. I'd almost guarantee it's 20 parts per million on the one test and it's probably 3 on the iron content. You give it a chance to build up and it looks terrible,
Right,
but it really isn't.
but
And when
Again.
you've got iron poor blood, it's good to drink.
And after 15 years, I wasn't surprised that it was.
And that's not out of that's normal maintenance.
We did have the meeting on the 5th with C2E and the CIP stuff. They're still working on getting us the rest of the big printout stuff, so. Was they gonna have it for council?
I don't know. If they do,
That was on the 5th. So they've only had 4 weeks.
yeah, they have all the numbers, it's just, I don't know.
It just wasn't easy to read. Yeah, it was, confusing about giving it easy to read sheets. And they're supposed to be getting some. I will check with them. The blocks, I left the fish, I talked to Fisher, it's $50 a block. And I'm waiting, his trucks aren't licensed, so I'm waiting for a call from.
Aren't licensed to do that kind of haulage.
His semi's not licensed, he doesn't have a license plate on it right now. So Cordier, so I wait for Cordier,
Care went up for it.
so I'm waiting for Cordier, Ryan's gonna call me back with a price on all of them over here.
And that's just to buy more on top of what we've
What we
already
got,
got.
you know,
How many?
10. That was what they asked for the quote for 1 cents. $500. So. Plus, with them not running concrete anymore, when they're gone, he said they're gone, they're not making. Moves. So if we run,
They don't do concrete, Fisher.
Nope.
They're done.
no, they sold that part of the plant out to. I'm going to use a little company there in Durand or wherever they're out anymore.
Library and
Concerns, yeah, that was the water issue he was talking about, keeping a close eye on that. Dutch run, because the air conditioners was
Sweating.
yeah. I know Kevin did a lot of stuff, he checked it again this spring, but we could keep a close eye on it, so we can make sure we.
What did you drift off the duct on the ceiling tile and
And then
then
leak
through?
through, and he went through and wrapped a bunch of them. They separated it from the upstairs and downstairs, so now, the upstairs is running probably 15 degrees cooler than the downstairs, so it's sweating through and.
Tenant pays for that, doesn't it?
Yes.
Good.
There's the trees on Woodbury Road. I talked to Dan a little bit, and I know Kim's posted a few times on Facebook. We've had another issue with these. Little electric motorbikes. and
That must be what
e-bikes, so
happened to my lawn over there. I
Yeah,
was
we
scratching
yelled
my
at
head
him.
over
we've
that.
yelled at him a couple times for tearing up the park. I yelled at one because he was ripping through the cemetery and they have a funeral service. They just,
No respect.
yeah, there's about
color
four
was
of them. Black and white.
White is my little neighbor, so I can have a little chit chat.
Yeah, one was white and one was black. He's all black plate, black helmet.
That one I don't know.
And I think he comes out of the Eastwood subdivision. At least that's where I've seen a lot of the day of the cemeteries, so
The beast. Doyle Road?
off Woodbury,
Deer
Deerwood, sorry.
Oh, okay.
One of the woods.
Deer.
The one by
On
your
the
trees.
east side. On the east.
Yes,
Yeah, I noticed when I mowed last. That there's a. Bare patch.
yeah,
Got in the amphitheater, right?
yeah, I yelled at one for riding it right down the steps in the amphitheater.
Oh, yeah, that
Well,
is
it wasn't from just one time.
Oh, no, that was when we,
Dozen.
that was when we caught him, yeah.
That's when I
And
posted
then,
that face.
and then I also said something to Dan about, they're on these electric scooters too, and these kids, they're not slowing down for stop signs, they're not. I had 3 of them whip in front of me on Railroad Street today, just, and I'm like, and I'm in the back, but I'm like,
Dee from
yeah.
the dogs almost hit one. I'm not hurt. Andy, we saw one in the morning I think it was like a Sunday. And I'm like. He's going more than 25.
Oh,
On the
that-
sidewalk.
That little bike, when
That was a
when it
scooter.
came through the cemetery, when it came through the cemetery, it was outrunning the cars on Woodbury.
Yeah, these things can be
Little bit
scooters
last
too
bike.
can go.
Yeah, a little
fast.
bit.
Yeah.
They used
They're-
AI and found out.
Yeah. Well, the kid's not as big as me either. It wouldn't go that fast with me. on
That
it.
kid on the scooter, I was like, that, he went phew, but I'm like, that's faster than 25. There's no way.
Oh,
that
yeah,
is.
them things
And
fly.
he was on the sidewalk. I'm like,
Too bad we fixed them all.
like,
got-
guys, wipe out. I don't care if you have a helmet on or
I
not.
finally got a hold of Frontier. We come in, got that board. They reboarded their stuff and Thornburg electricity, so we got lights are working back in the post office. We're open.
That's the one right there by,
Yes. Yep,
and there's. Right there, a couple more in the parking lot.
there is, I think, 5 lights there. But they hit it between the post at the post office and the first light in the bump out. They made a big circle and they hit the conduit.
Good aim.
Yeah,
What are the chances?
so that's all back up and running. We've been having some conversations on this kayak launch stuff.
Yeah.
I knocked on the door once, I didn't get an answer, and then I just decided to email them, which they've not got a response back yet, but I thought if we're gonna do that communication, I want to be ready, so. I talked to Jason a little bit, I talked to Scott a little bit, we're just trying to find the correct answer to get this done and off our plate and taken care of. And Jason was kind of in agreement with me after we talked about building that berm and all that, we went out and looked at it. And adding dirt to that berm is not gonna resolve her issue. I mean, our berm is down here and her house is 15 feet in the air.
Oh,
You'd have to double the size of the berm.
Yeah,
At
at least.
That's why I thought that trees would be. a
And
better
that's,
answer.
and that was why I went to Jason. I had him go out and look at the dirt, look at the ground and see.
Trees are gonna take years.
Correct.
I think his idea of selling. A strip. Up to the berm,
okay.
I don't know that we
sell
want,
that to them.
we would have to measure that. I'm not opposed to it. I just don't know if we want to go all the way to that.
There's an indication that it was like
Um,
30, 50 feet.
It's quite a bit. I mean, I think we want to keep a couple of feet beyond that so we
Yeah.
can go around it and have control of it, but
Give yourself 10 feet.
yeah. But I am not opposed to selling it to them. We
What's
talked
the
about,
purpose of selling it?
So they can do whatever they wanna do.
so it would take it off our plate, and if they want to put trees in there for their privacy, then they can put trees.
Oh.
Put the burden on them and off us.
And the idea sell. Would be. Give us $500 and you take care of all costs associated with. And it's yours.
Yeah, we'd have to get that right and just make sure that they.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, this is just stuff we've been bouncing around, that's why I wanted to make sure it was on the agenda. So,
So going back to the trees. Being in a landfill, you can't look down, you have to build up to the wall and burlap, whatever you do. If you figure about a 10-foot tree,
correct,
you're gonna
But
put that dirt up to it.
but if you do the tree on the property line. Or have him do it, leave it on his court, then he can do it on that part of his property line, and then it's not ours.
Right.
And that's what I'm looking at, is taking the burden away from us.
Is my perception correct that they've become a little bit difficult on this?
Yes, they've just become more difficult.
Are they difficult because we've drug it out for so long and they're fed up, so now they're just turned into misery?
They didn't want to see.
They didn't want, she didn't want it to begin with. I mean, it's been a household argument to begin with. He wanted to launch, she didn't.
So there's strife within them.
Yes, and so we're just trying to
But
get
he's
it.
the last one who called. It's like somebody was staring.
Somebody was staring at it.
I have no idea what their situation, because their house sits up on a hill. And then there's this other house that's right next to the property. I don't know what's in there, who's in there, well, but they have big house that sits up on the hill. Where I don't know how they can even see, it's so far away. You can't see it from the boat dock, you don't see their house. And then they have this other like garage house, I don't know.
Okay, so we're just trying to come up with a definite answer to get this
I
done.
mean, if we would have sold that property to somebody, there's not a darn thing they could have done.
Right.
So, you know, the berm was, you know, what we said we were gonna do, well, that. We just didn't have enough dirt to build the berm up, so. You know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like. We've tried
And once, like I said, once we went out there and actually you look at the berm and look where that house was, it wouldn't matter if we'd had.
I know, I just,
You'd have had to have 15-foot
lot.
berm.
yeah, and all the
Oh,
way
yeah.
across the entire lot, and you know, it's just not feasible, we knew, I mean, that. Never gonna have that much dirt, we couldn't dig that much dirt up
Right.
because of. I mean, that was the whole point of keeping everything pretty,
15 foot of berm.
yeah,
is
I don't
a
know
lot of
It's a
what
lot
was
of dirt.
expected, but.
Thousands of yards.
I got it. I mean, I do, I have a tremendous amount of dirt back then. In the railroad tracks. from Dole.
Well, I was gonna say, if you just scalp the railroad tracks down to road level, there's your,
Oh, yeah, I mean, cause it's about 10 feet tall,
yeah.
about 150 yards long. It's a lot of dirt.
But. No,
It's a lot of labor,
Yeah,
trucking.
yeah. It seems like
what about that wild olive stuff that goes crazy and makes a mess and grows like.
I have
weed
plenty of it I
again.
can transplant.
we already have a species out there in the water that. We gotta get a sign for. That's
Oh.
for me, yeah,
A
it's in the
sign.
whole river, yeah. Just to tell people, you know, when they take their canoes out, they should put some on. But,
So they don't take it from the river to a lake and.
What is it?
it's a plant that grows and it just takes over. Looks like a miniature lily pad.
Yeah.
That like grows really thick, you can't get through it.
It's in the river. We need more rain, more flow.
It's in. Into it.
Yeah. It's in more than just the.
And if it's-
Yeah, it's not just ours, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's, you
Sign.
know, you put a sign up that, you know.
Wash your boat out, you know, that'll stop.
That's how it got there, so.
So we, been working out there doing some cleanup. It's actually starting to look pretty decent out there. Doing some maintenance, clean type part, weed whipping, spraying, we killed some stuff off, getting ready to reseal that tracks in the tennis court. We had to re-glue some tops back on them. All the theater was to yeah, break that off there, so. Galadan Bates made sure he was still gonna be on schedule for doing the painting of that skate park and the thing up here, which we just talked to him again today. We did some cleaning up inside Bates Park, and a couple of storms, made quite a few branches and stuff down there, we got them cleaned up. Did some picnic tables.
I went by Bates. A week or so ago. Can you get some? Buildings, but gravel. To fill the potholes on the drive.
Oh, did you get it to quit raining? We had them all filled in and then the rain hit. We're gonna go out there with the backhoe on that first curve.
That
They kind of
first
fade
curve
up. We're
is
gonna see if we can
big.
drag the bat.
Big hole.
Rick and I
Yeah.
was just looking at it today. It's kind of banked up. We're gonna see if we can pull that back and get the road bucket
And
back.
speaking of loads of dirt. This actually might not be a bad use of it. To the east of the drive. Drive in, and you've got the curve, and that's always full of water in the spring. It looks to me like if you put it up that high. Fill it. Then it's gonna have a tendency to run. And make it so that it will. Run off towards the drain. that's to the west of the drive.
Yeah, I would have to look at the.
And as you come
We had that
closer to
quoted
the
out
road,
once,
it's
how much
deeper.
dirt that would take to. I'll look at that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could regrade that, where you're looking at.
Oh,
20 to 30 cubic yards, I would think at least.
At least.
how many?
20 to 30 cubic yards, at least is, and that's a small number.
Expect 200.
Oh, yeah.
It would
I
take-
would
it
bet
would take a
200.
lot, yeah. I mean, it would be basically from where that old round slide was all over the road.
Yep, yep, that's about what I was looking at. This spring, Jason and I went out there and shot that with a laser.
Okay, what's the grade on?
It was, and you can pretty much see it just by looking at it,
What's
but it was about at the road. Probably this much and to where the slide tapering to nothing.
I say, I think when we lasered it at one point, it was like 4 inches or something.
Yeah.
Spots.
I think that go a long ways towards helping that situation. And I even thought if you're that deep with dirt, if you threw 4-inch corrugated down, tile it,
Yeah.
and then fill it,
Mhm.
and that tile will get it.
Right.
And there,
The
is there
problem-
not a, there's
I
a
was just gonna
culvert
say that
under
the
the
prob-
road, isn't
The
there?
problem we run into that was that culvert was under the road.
Or, I mean, under the drive, there's a culvert also,
Yes.
isn't there?
Yes. But the drain line from that one at the park to where it deadheads out behind Austin's place, we never had an easement for it and it was never maintained. We tried to jet that one time and he made it 80 feet.
And ran out of hose or
Ran
ran
into
out of,
solid.
it was,
Ran into solid. We're not sure if it was, that was back when Gary was here, and we did that, and it looks like it goes right under where fence posts would be between Austin's and Lincoln's.
okay. So kind of right down their line.
Yes, yes. But they, they
And
got the
not
okay,
very deep,
I'm guessing.
it can't go
They
very
can't go very
deep,
deep. 'Cause
because then.
if
it
you
would
go to the back of
flow.
the property, you can see where the outline, the outlets.
Well, like you and I were talking, that the real solution would be to run it
Yes,
all the way west on West Street to the new stuff
correct.
that's there.
But yeah, I'll look into that and see what we can come up with.
And the lay of the land between the park and where the new stuff is, it's uphill, isn't
It
it?
goes uphill till just there by Gilson's and then it kind of crests and starts going back.
The sale is tomorrow, by the way. Gilson's,
Oh, is it? I don't know.
he died years ago, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
She finally decided to move on with life, must be. Sell. That's why I want to build a new garage, so I can get everything arranged for the sale.
The last one was about how we cemetery, we've been really busy at cemetery. We've had one full burial during the weekday, 2 weekday remains. We've poured 9 footings. We've constantly been weed whacking. We've done it full twice and we've done a partial one again already. Tree maintenance again out there's ongoing.
Have you,
And then our killer part, we've had 8 weekend burials, 7 remains and 1 floating weekends.
You looked it over, is anybody, do you feel comfortable that we're not gonna get anybody complaining about the,
I don't think so. I mean, we're trying our damnedest to keep up with it, but I mean, when it's been raining every 3 days, so,
well, it won't for a while now.
no, I won't for a while, but yeah, I mean,
And it'll dry out.
we've been constantly on it. Like we're caught up with EF and A, so now we just got BD and C. So,
They've got 3 and 3 to go.
but the biggest one is done, so.
And where's this,
And the only other thing I hate, but, so,
Scioto Street drain?
oh, Hicks, yeah. There was that's LC drain has been an issue for years, but we found a soft spot in his yard. Rick and I dug it up. And it looks like when they put the new drain in, they cut the old drain, they never had it. So
So the old drain
the old
was
drain
cut
was
and
cut
don't.
and, it's sucking dirt in, so we got cap.
Is this from the low spot of Scioto where that drain grate
It's
is?
where all the drains come together and then they shoot to the Laingsburg drain.
Going straight north off from Scioto
Yes, yep,
at the low point?
yep.
Okay. Didn't. As I recall, that was all put in back when Ron and you were here. And we paved and curved that street
Yes,
to solve the problem
Yes,
that
and then
Rick
remember-
Tibble was having
yep,
growing.
and then remember, they didn't hook the drains up right, and they had to come in and cut a 4-foot section out of that whole thing and reconnect them, and yeah,
Back then,
back then.
and now we've done it again.
No, this is still from then.
Okay.
This is where they cut the drain when they put it in, and we didn't know,
Okay,
but we found it now,
you found it
and
in
it's sealed. Yep,
nice field. Is that gonna back?
no, it was abandoned. That was abandoned when the other one was there. What it was doing was he was in the low part of his yard, so it made it fill up, suck the
It would go
dirt
in
out.
the pipe.
Yeah. Yeah,
And then it
and
would
it's
come.
an 8-inch pipe, so it was sucking a lot of dirt, take a lot of dirt to fill up an 8-inch pipe, so.
What do you do? Clean concrete?
Yeah, we bagged it, concreted it.
No.
And
Alright, the last thing, Linda.
then the other thing I had, was this paperwork. I've had interest from an employee about wanting to go to the full-time position. And I kind of took stuff off from what was on my description, what was on the other description, and put together. And I wanted you guys to look through it and see if there's anything we probably should add to it, or,
So this is for homework.
yes, yes.
Which our meeting is next Tuesday.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. About the work hours and the budget and all of that. What? Have you? Made adjustments or come up with
I have-
solution?
I have started making adjustments. The one kid that we hired for the season, I got him on 3 days, it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The one that's interested in going to full-time, if that would go for full-time in the position they were in, I just won't feel that'll be vacated. So,
And what about consideration of full 7 days a week?
I've looked into that,
Cause we've got a lot of action in the parks on the weekends.
we do.
And if we had one or two people on Saturday and Sunday, and probably one would be able to do.
I think we're gonna find if we did it.
And couldn't you make it so that you've got 3 part-timers, every third week you work a weekend, and you don't work Monday and Tuesday or Wednesday and Thursday or whatever?
Other than it takes me guys out for my work day of the work week.
But if you have them,
And
have
I
a
would-
list for them of things to do on the weekend, so they're doing those things
yes,
also.
yes. But it takes me away, if I work a Saturday, Sunday, then it takes me one guy away from my Tuesday, Wednesday.
But if
Is
he's
what I'm
making
saying.
up for what he's gonna do on Tuesday and Wednesday, on Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, as long as I have the ability to come in and babysit. I mean, you run a business.
Shouldn't have to.
You run a business, you know, if you didn't have Jimmy, they wouldn't do what they're supposed to do.
With the right hire, those 2 girls actually are outstanding. Jim has mentored them well, and they I guess it's. If you've got your expectations set, if you've got a list, this is what I wanna see you do on those 2 days. And come Monday morning, let's look this over, and if they didn't do it, well, then there's a problem.
I don't, I have looked at it, I've talked to the guys, I just don't know. I mean, I already know for a fact, two of them told me that they would quit first. And they're retired, so they're not supposed to be here.
We can look at a mock-up schedule or something, and we have worked on our meeting.
Right, I mean, I have looked at it, I've been looking into it, I just haven't made progress with it.
Well, it tends to have somebody here.
Well, and also I was thinking about. Everything used to be done. Just you and Ron. Back in the 90s,
Correct,
there's just the two of you
correct,
doing everything.
correct, but we didn't do half of them. I mean, we did brush pickup once a month. And I mowed, that was what we did.
And then after we got Gary, it was you and Gary were the main men,
Yep, and we had two part-time
part-time.
at all times, yeah, part-time at 32 hours a week at least.
Which is considered full.
If it goes so many weeks, you know. Luckily, we have no holidays that doesn't make that.
They call it full if it goes.
Right.
Do you have anything else, Dave?
No, I do not.
I'm there.
Yeah.
We're there.
There. So we're good?
Yes, yeah, and
Anything else?
no, that was all I had. I'll work on the.
We'll adjourn the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Or